We traveled to Finland because we kept hearing that this small country had nearly ended homelessness. In Helsinki, it's hard not to miss that there's no one living on the street. Here, instead of building more shelters, they replaced them with permanent homes.
So this building, it used to be the biggest shelter in the Nordic countries.
And why was there such a big shelter here?
Because in the 1980s, we had over 20,000 homeless people in Finland, so we really needed the shelter beds as well. It's the same thing that's happening around the world at the moment. We didn't have enough housing for people, and the home was this kind of prize at the end of the ladder. So we used the staircase model. So if you had any kind of mental health challenges, substance abuse challenges, first you need to take care of those things, and then at the end of the staircase there might be a home of your own. And it's quite hard to take care of your challenges if you don't know where you're going to lay your head in the next evening.
So here in Finland, if you're on the street, you can't physically be on the street. I mean, in winter.
No, then people are with friends, and then we have shelters. But I think what we have tried to do is to get rid of the shelters and just, have people to have permanent homes. And that was one of the biggest things when we started with the housing first, is that we renovated the places like this, big shelters into permanent homes for people. 54. And then I think it has been one of those key things why Finland have succeeded the way we have. Moikka Hessu, Kahila Juha Y-säätiöstä.
Moi.
What does housing first mean?
It's a human right. So first thing everyone needs is a home. And then start taking care of the other things they may have in their lives as well. But without a home, it can be really hard or even impossible.
How long have you lived here?
3 years.
3 years.
This is the canteen. This is our office, and there's my friend, Peter.
So how long have you been here?
7 years now.
Did you spend any time on the street?
Oh my God, yes, too long time.
How long?
Was 2 years.
On the streets. Were you looking for housing?
Yeah, of course. But nobody cares that time. That C side and this A side. That is the beginner. Like you are coming from street there. It is like a shelter more.
Okay. You move fast. For having had a stroke, you really move.
Yes, I'm happy because I can speak and walk.
Right? Yeah.
Here they have bread delivery too when you don't have any food. But we have one cafe there. We have breakfast there from 8 to 9 and lunch 11 to 12. And like we are working from 9 till 2 o'clock.
So your day's pretty structured. I mean,
Yes,
That's a good thing here.
because there is a lot of people, they use so much drugs so they can't.
They don't handle
They can't even cook
everyday
eggs.
thing.
So are there many drugs in the building?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is.
People are they kicked out if they find out?
No. This is like a free town. You can use your drugs in your house, your home. Because 90% of people here is problem with drugs.
No sobriety is required.
But this is because the people is coming from streets. They are drug users, most of them.
If you live in the street, you cannot handle it if you don't use something.
And then it's hard to stop.
Very hard.
So you have your cigarettes.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you use anything else?
I was a multi-junkie.
Multi,
Yeah.
like lots of things,
Yeah, everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Do you
But
still?
I stopped when the stroke came. That was a good stopper. Not good stopper, but stopper.
A stopper, not necessarily the best way to stop, but at least
Yes.
I finished it everything when I came here.
Is that right?
I have been clean now more than 7 years.
What happened?
I get the house, I get the place here, so I decided self to stop it everything.
How hard was that for you?
Oh my God, I get 2 heart strokes. I almost died. Oh, that was very hard.
Were you in the hospital even?
Yes. But the workers, the meaning is they are checking after you. Because they knew it, I told them I'm gonna finish everything, and they was, yes, good.
Yeah, it's interesting because I do think even most shelters that I'm aware of in the US, I think you have to be clean to be in a shelter. Like they won't let you in if you're abusive. And that's a big issue. A lot of people don't want to leave the street.
We have a principle here, home first.
What does that mean, home first?
The home is the main thing. So you have the home. You have one home.
You can have home, and then after things can improve.
Yeah.
But first,
Yes.
you need a home.
Yes,
That's right.
That's important.
that is important. Yeah.
Because how do you get clean? You were saying you have to use to be on the street.
Otherwise, it's so hard to live here. If you know no users, so oh no, you are not surviving here. Not on the streets. No, it's too heavy. And if you are not user, when you be on the streets, you will be user. Almost 90% everybody.
And for you, what does it take to what are you getting from the building? You're saying sort of almost job training because
Yeah,
you're-
it's the regular life. Like going up on the morning, do your morning thing, go to work, eat meals on the day, and after that go home. And
what do you do?
I'm the cleaning boss. I'm delivering the cleaning stuff to people.
I'm sanitizing the handles.
Handles, right?
I go to the beach to get the wipes.
I'm the wife boss. I'm happy for this what I have now. This was much harder before.
Yeah.
Before I came here. It was so hard.
Yeah, I feel actually a bit funny because I have been here so many times that they just gave me the key. And
Why are you here so often?
there are some tenants, Tuija for example, and then I like to come to see her every now and then and see how she's doing. And we have this book club, so I'm always intrigued what she's reading, and then she asks me about what I'm reading. And yeah,
So she's been here a long time. I mean, you know,
since the beginning,
which is what? How many years?
2012.
Wow. So it's really permanent. I mean,
Yeah, it is
not just permanent a couple years, but
No,
permanent.
you can live here as long as you wish, and many people they will live here, for the rest of their lives. They need some kind of support, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole point. Some people they might live here 2 years, 3 years, then they move somewhere else, a little bit more independent and these kind of things. But the main idea with the housing first in Finland is that it's permanent. That's the idea,
That's the idea. Yeah.
at least. Mulla on kuule avain. Saadaanko tulla? Joo. Kiitos. Niin pitäisi. En ole unohtanut. Tuon kahvit. Ole hyvä.
Are they all like this, where you have all the pink? No. This is your?
Mä oon aina rakastanut pinkkiä.
No ne.
Niin kuin se näkee.
Yeah, as you can see, she has always loved the pink color.
It's nice. I like how you've done it. It feels just so personal. Everything.
Tästä.
Kiitos.
When did you move here?
9 vuotta tulee nyt täytyy.
9 years ago.
And where did you live before? Across the street.
Joo. 3 vuotta asuin siellä.
3 years in temporary housing.
Sitä ennen mä asuin 5 vuotta kadulla.
Before that, 5 years on the streets.
How did you end up on the street?
Mies kuoli ja asunto lähti.
Her husband died and then she lost the apartment.
So 5 years. That's a long time.
Se oli rankkaa.
It was really hard.
Really hard.
Sitten mä rupesin vetää huumeita. No senkin voi sanoa.
Yeah, then came the drugs,
Kaikki on lopetettu nyt.
but she had finished all the drugs.
And why were you 5 years on the street? Was there no place?
No, there wasn't
kuka ei
any places.
neuvonut.
And she didn't get any kind of guidance where to look.
Where to look? Okay. What size is this?
I think this is something like 22, 23.
22, and we have a little kitchen, a place to sleep, and living room, a bathroom in each one.
The toilet.
It's not a micro apartment by no means. It's a quite sizable studio apartment where you can have all the necessities you need. Your own kitchen, bathroom, and then living room and bed. So, yeah.
On pinkkiä.
All pink, you're right. And when you were a child, did you have a lot of pink? In your bedroom, was it like this?
Ei vaatteet.
No, but the clothes.
The clothes were pink.
Nehän sanoo mä, että mä oon vaaleanpunainen paholainen.
So they called her the pink devil.
No. Is your closet? Yeah. Oh, it's very neat. You keep everything very organized. When you moved in, what was here?
Sänky ja kaappi.
The closet and the bed. And then the kitchen table.
This is all your things that you
Itse hoitanut.
bought?
Yeah.
Where do you get the money to buy things? Do you work now?
Mä olin tänäänkin.
So she took parts of the work activities in the building. So she had been washing some sheets,
Do you enjoy it, having work?
Joo. Jotain tekemistä.
something to do.
And you get paid for every hour.
Jos mä sanon rehellisesti 12 € päivä.
12 euros a day.
Did you have a job at one point before moving here?
On.
Yes.
What kind of work?
Pakkaamo. Siis mä oon
Packing things.
Packing things. Oh, okay. And then when you lived on the street, you didn't work.
Silloin kun
En ollut
Yeah.
suhteessa.
No,
No ei
no.
silloin voi lähteä.
you cannot go to do work if you're on the streets.
Ilman autota.
It's impossible to even think about going to work if you don't know where you're gonna stay next night.
How did you live for 5 years without a home?
Se oli kauheeta.
It was horrible. Yeah.
Ilman päihteitä ei olisi pärjännyt.
Without substances, it would have been impossible.
What did you use?
Kaikki.
Everything.
And did you get clean? Do you use now?
Nyt et käytä enää mitään.
Ei.
No, nothing anymore.
How did you stop?
Mä katsoin peiliin ja sitten mä katselin, että nyt pakko lopettaa.
So you looked at the mirror and decided that now it's time to stop.
When you were here,
Move.
Täällä.
Here.
you could come here even though you were using,
Voi.
Yeah, you can live here
can
if
live
you're
here.
yes.
because you needed a place a home in order to feel safe, maybe to stop.
On.
Yeah. That's correct.
Se riippuu vähän itsestään.
Yeah, it depends on yourself, but then you need the safe place that you can make the change as well.
Now you look back, is it hard to imagine living on the street?
Kyllä mä mietin joka päivä.
Every day she thinks about it.
Every day, do you really?
It's it's in her head.
And what do you think about? You remember?
Sattui kaikki pahoja asioita.
A lot of bad things happened during those 5 years, so yeah,
Yeah.
No se jää tänne.
it stays in your
It
mind.
stays in your head. And I would think, especially being a woman on the street, it's probably very difficult.
Nyt varsinkin kun olet vielä nainen ollut ja on ollut vielä vaan.
Pelottavaa.
It's really scary when
It's
you're a
scary,
woman.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you found something. It's obvious that you're happy here.
Niin asiat on hyvin.
Asiat on hyvin and things are well now.
Is this you?
Yes.
Do you think that Finland has solved homelessness?
On.
Yes.
How do you think people could stop being in the streets for so long?
Kaikki ei jää apua niin kuin pitäisi.
Everyone doesn't know how to seek help, and even the ones who seek help, some of them don't get the help in time or on time. So
First, they need a safe place, and then they can change.
yeah.
Kiitos.
Kiitos Tuija ja oikein hyvää juhannusta.
Joo, samoin.
Joo.
Thank you. Aw. You're not going to do book club today.
No, but I got a book hint from Tuija actually.
Escobari se.
Living in Medellin. So,
Escobar.
Yeah, Escobar. Yeah.
Me luetaan samoja.
We read the same books. yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
Sometimes this problem of homelessness dehumanizes and creates this frontier, invisible frontier. Here you don't see it much. It's how do you create this permeability? How do they think themselves as a part of society?
It all starts inside the unit. It's the tenant's home. Yes, they are former homeless people. They may have some kind of challenges in their lives, but then again, who doesn't have some challenges in their lives? It starts from there, that this is their home, and the employees, for example, they are sort of like the visitors in the building.
Thank you. Bye.
Welcome.
And that's the main thing. And then they build the community together, so the employees and the tenants. So for example, they make the house rules together.
Is this board
What's happening during the week? Weekly schedule. For example, here is that the work activities are closed today. There's a cleaning day, building meeting.
feels a bit like an apartment building.
Yeah, exactly. For the breakfast and the lunch, you need to bring your own coffee cup. One part of the Finnish housing first has always been this kind of normality aspect. So when people need to use the social and health services, they use the same services as anyone else.
How are people around here perceiving this place, and do they want this place to change its location? Or
This place has been here forever. And now for the people living in this neighborhood, it's a better thing that people have permanent homes. Because when it was a shelter, in the morning people would have to go out. And where would they go? To the streets. So actually it has created this whole neighborhood more safer place.
This would have been all shared room or a dormitory.
Exactly, yeah. It was a big place, 250 people during the nights, and the support was basically non-existent. So if there was a fight or something like this, the guards could throw you out, but that was more or less what the people got.
It's not as big as I thought it would be. How many people are in this building?
88 people.
So, but there's not probably seating for 88 here.
Yeah, but it's not mandatory to eat here. So quite many people, they eat the breakfast, lunch, dinner in their own homes and they cook by themselves. Okay. And then I think the breakfast nowadays it's free, but the lunch is maybe €2, €1.50. So it's not like free. Okay. So people can choose. But I think it's a great way also to do this kind of, communal work as well. So you offer people a place where they can eat together.
They find some community, so that's probably healthy to have some interaction every day.
And that's why the breakfast is free of charge. Here is the outside patio, and this is, so for example, I heard that today, 2 o'clock, there will be barbecue. Usually there's some kind of music as well, and just have a nice time together.
It's nice. I mean, there's nothing that feels sort of like cheap.
No, and that's the case when we talk about affordable housing in Finland, is that the quality has to be good. So for example, when you walk around the city, I would say that you don't know which one is like affordable housing and which one is like private housing, because from the outside they look the same. I think it's quite special to beat this up.
It really is. I mean, it's a nice building.
It is.
And even the fact that this building wasn't something you had to buy. I mean, it was already a shelter. So it's like changing how you...
Changing the mindset.
Yeah.
Finland has been voted happiest country in the world 8 years in a row now. And I think it comes to these basic things that we take care of each other and then we don't demand too much. When we have a home, health, we can buy groceries from the store, friends or family or both. We are quite happy, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is why we are the happiest country in the world. We need to have sauna in our buildings. And I really love this building in a way that every time I walk in, there is this certain kind of atmosphere, this kind of calm atmosphere. And there are tenants who don't recognize me or don't remember me, and they just come and start having a discussion or a chat. And I think that's wonderful.
It shows a real comfort level.
Exactly, yeah.
You're not fighting for sort of your space or your...
Exactly, yeah. This is one of the reasons. This is my personal opinion why Finland is the happiest country in the world 8 years in a row that we have saunas. It's really, really important for the Finns that we can have a place just relax.
And it's a communal thing too.
Yeah, there can be 6 people in the sauna and it can be totally quiet. But that's also, sharing the experience with the others. So some people, they like to have a chat in the sauna.
So it's not a luxury to have a sauna. It's just a necessity almost for you all. How cold does it get here?
It can still be minus 20 degrees every now and then, and a lot of snow as well.
So there's a big difference between the street and a sauna.
Exactly. And of course, we work towards that, at one day there would be a home for all in Finland, and one day we will get there.
How close are you?
Well, if I say that in the 1980s we had 20,000 homeless people, and now the number is 3,806 homeless people, so the decrease have been like 82%.
We've seen a lot of spaces, and it's usually temporary housing still, even if it's not a dorm, and it's all tiny units that just fit a bed, boxes.
Yeah, this February I was in Toronto and I saw these tiny homes. So they were like, small boxes. Only thing people could do was to sit down or lay down. They couldn't even stand up because they were so tiny. I saw one man entering into one of these tiny homes, and I went to him and asked, "You must have a social worker who comes to see you every week at least." And he was like, "Fuck off. I haven't seen anyone in the past 6 months." So I was like, So it's not like, it's a bad way to some permanent housing. For me, it looked like it was just, get people out of sight, out of mind more like, but that's how it goes sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think the cost is lower.
No. I will take my stuff. All the studies, they have the same conclusion, more or less, that if you are actually housing people with the support they need, you actually end up saving money, anything between 5,000 to 15,000 euros per person per year. So on a financial sense, this kind of operation makes perfect sense as well.
The Finnish model depends on housing that's actually affordable. In Helsinki, a studio apartment rents for 600 or 700 euros. In the San Francisco Bay Area, that same space costs more than $2,000. Without enough affordable housing, housing first becomes harder to achieve.
This looks like a lot of work doing this. So you have to do this every time you move the
Because they get better energy. Wintertime is the sun's way over that way.
So you have to take them off every time you move the car for street
Right.
cleaning and that kind of thing?
Right, you can't leave them up when you're driving.
No.
Yeah.
No. And it's worth it.
Oh, it's worth it. I mean, a lot of people don't do. A lot of the homeless don't do nothing. They just pack rat, and some of their places are really bad. The crazies, the junkies, and I don't hang out with the junkies. I mean, I'm not an addict. Never got into the alcohol or the drugs. This ballpark is starting to come alive here. I'm going to move over there to Alameda.
So you're really specific about where you park.
Yeah, this is safe parking here.
So you're a senior?
Yeah,
You are?
67.
67, huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't want to be living in this thing forever. I want to get into housing, but I don't know if I'll ever will. I'm on a list for one place here in Berkeley, then a couple other places.
But it's normal to be waiting a couple years for housing, even as a senior?
God, yeah, you could be waiting. Some people did it in 2 years, get lucky and hit it right. And then some places you wait 10 years or better.
What do people do? So you all just stay in cars or van? I mean, what do you
I'll
do?
stay in my RV until then, or that if I find an affordable place I can afford.
Right. So how much solar do you have on here?
Well, I have 9 panels.
9 panels, and how much?
Oh, I paid about 5,000.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a lot of stuff in here?
No, just the basic. I don't like clutter. I don't tech rat. It's not bad. It's good for one person.
So, okay, so that light is all coming from solar, right?
Yep. See, this is a portable generator battery pack. I have 3 batteries down there, 1 there and 2 there, and I got another 5 batteries on that side.
Oh,
They're
wow.
all big batteries.
Do you have gas?
Yeah, the stove is gas,
It's gas,
oven's gas.
yeah.
So I just paid it off January. This thing was paying
How much you buy it for?
11,000. Well, that's with interest.
Yeah.
But it
Wow.
wasn't bad. I'm okay with it.
Because in rent here in Berkeley, what would you pay?
A rent? Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. I rented in Berkeley a room.
Single room occupancy kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah. The rooming house.
Well, good luck with your move. Bye, Dan. Good night. Hi. Good to see you. It's been a while.
We first met Patrick Kennedy almost 15 years ago when we toured his first micro unit.
We're on a site that we found 5.5 years ago. We wanted to show how much housing you can get on a typical single-family home lot. And as it turned out, it's 39 apartments.
This is sort of like a new take on residence hotels. It's going back to something that was big 100 years ago in a lot of cities that kind of we got away from.
That's exactly it. This is a modern take on the residential hotel. If you live in the California climate and you have Mediterranean weather, then why not take advantage of it? All of the units have access to the outside. All of the units can see their neighbors. And I think it makes for a much more connected environment.
I think not having an elevator must be, I mean, elevators can tend to get messy. They're a place where you can hide away. It's probably a nice
Bad
thing.
stuff happens in elevators. They're expensive. Yeah.
I do think that this layout feels conducive to sort of light and air.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And you're not like you're stuck on the 4th floor, the end of the hall, and you basically just share a corridor with your neighbor. The key difference that we wanted to demonstrate here was the value of having a courtyard apartment instead of a residential hotel. That allows us to have every unit with light and air on each floor, and every unit can see what's going on the other units. So we were hopeful that the architecture itself would lend itself to community building. It just makes it a lot easier for people to naturally interact with one another. This is a typical unit.
And what's changed?
You have no space chewed up for circulation because you enter in the middle. And we do some other things that make the space feel bigger. An 8-foot tall door. Our windows are 5 feet tall. The ceiling heights are 9 feet. We wanted to have lots of light, which obviously with 2 big windows, you do. In fact, we also wanted to see how small you could get and still have a serviceable unit. And I think this is about it.
We are by one of the busy streets here, but the sound is not too bad, right? So
Yeah, no, we have double glazed windows and we've tested the sound. In fact, University Avenue is the busiest street in Berkeley. And if you test the noise level here, it says quiet library.
You just hear the vent or fan or something.
You're listening to the fan. We have a microwave here, microwave convection oven. You can heat stuff up. We wanted to limit the amount of cooking inside the units because it's an issue with the insurers. Sink and dish rack. And we wanted to keep costs down. And then over here, desk and work area. The day bed also has storage and under the bed. So you can put your luggage and things like that there. If you really need more space, you can lower this. But we wanted to make sure that the dwellings not only had a bed and a desk, but also a place where you could socialize, hence the folding table.
Wow, easily folds and unfolds. That's great that it just pops up.
Yeah, and it's pretty, we tested this in our offices quite a bit, and it's pretty indestructible. This actually was a specially designed wardrobe that we worked on for several months. Space for a guest chair, and then also space for a pantry and for other things. It's also got a lot of hooks. My wife says I have a hook fetish, and I believe that you cannot have too many hooks in a small space. The other thing we have are metal mirrors here, unbreakable. And a nice thing about having a metal wardrobe is it's magnetic. And this is where you put your mail that's going to go out. Turn on the light.
So I'm guessing no wet bath.
Yeah. No, it's not a wet bath. The ground floor units are all wet baths because they're all accessible. And this is a grab bar right here. We're very proud of our toilet paper holder, which is also a grab bar, and which you can set an iPhone on top of and not worry about it. It's also great, easy to change too. So everything's built to be kind of bomb-proof. And the flooring is vinyl tile. It's pretty indestructible. You can put a cigarette out on it, but it also looks decent and it's easy to maintain. The furnishings are also pretty indestructible, but they don't look institutional.
This does feel like you've been doing, I don't know what version, 5.0, 6.0 of what you've been working on.
On Tiny Studio, this is 9.0.
Is it 9.0?
This is our 9th studio.
And
Ninth studio design. I think we're reaching optimal performance and size.
And size.
I don't think we can get it any smaller and still have it work. Another feature about it that I wanted to experiment with was having the community room right at the get-go. So you can see people coming and going and connect that way.
This is Michael, another one of our residents. He just donated blood.
I'm gonna go change my pajamas.
Definitely caught him off guard.
It just seems like you guys are already a community.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that always happens in an apartment building.
Similar circumstances.
Yeah, circumstances that brought us all here.
We've come from being homeless. So.
You all have.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I definitely was at one point.
Yeah.
I was living in my friend's car.
My mom passed away, so I just forget it and went out on the deep end, didn't have anywhere to go, so I was homeless for a while, then I got into the tiny homes.
And how does that compare to here?
This is a lot better. A whole lot better. Have you ever been camping?
It didn't feel like a home.
No, it did not.
Everything's just pretty standard. Washer, dryer.
Do you ever come in here and it's being used? And
Oh yeah, of course. We just wait for it. Sometimes we kind of rotate it out ourselves a little bit. Nobody tends to get upset. It's sort of like unsaid, but we all kind of randomly just put our things in there.
so you don't even know who's at it. I mean, you're not going to take. You just know it's yours.
Exactly.
So the honor system really works. I mean, you haven't had anyone.
We all don't touch each other's things.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's like home here. I can say this is home for me because I'm comfortable. I'm around people that helps out.
And both of you are now taking classes.
Well, I'm taking a class in property management right now, and I'm trying to get into CC Berkeley right now.
I'm in school for human work and social services because I want to be a drug addiction and mental health counselor.
That's great. Wow, that's really great.
It wasn't easy, and it's days where I can say that I sit back and I think like, man, I wonder what would happen if I didn't get this place. Like, what would I be doing? Where would I be at? Everything I can think of is either jail or in the ground, and I'm thankful to God that I have a place over my head to call my home.
Oh, yeah. Very nice. So you got the nice corner window? Oh, wow. Nice and breathing in the air.
I appreciate it.
Oh, good.
I really do.
I'm glad. Well, Latoya says that you are one of the all-star residents
Oh,
here.
I appreciate that.
She said you just got a job at Target across the street?
Yeah.
Wow. Talk about an easy commute.
Yeah, that's right. I was joking with one of the 18-year-olds that worked there. She's like, "Where do you live?" I'm like, "Oh, I just walked to my house." She goes, "You walk? You don't have a car?" I'm like, "No, I'm poor."
Yeah.
She goes, "You're poor?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just have to walk across the street anyway."
Yeah.
You feeling okay? Feeling dizzy with all the getting blood? No.
Sorry.
And did you get to pick which unit?
No, they just assign it to you and it worked out. It's pretty quiet for the most part. No, I'm blessed. Recently got a job at Target, so I was homeless for 3 years.
Well, how were you living?
So when I first became homeless, I was sleeping in my car. I had a car at the time, so I was sleeping in my car behind grocery stores. I didn't hang out in the main camps or anything like that because to me they're dangerous. I got a job at Lucky's, and my car broke down in the parking lot. So I stayed on that parking lot for like 13 months. But they were cool, I gotta be honest, because they didn't kick me off, but I didn't steal or like shoplift or break into people's cars or anything like that. And then I was in a tent for like 9 months, and then I got in here.
It's neat.
Well, yeah, I got a Swifter. Honestly, I've always liked to clean because it's the one thing you've done something and you see the results right away.
Very Spartan. You don't have a lot of stuff.
No, I don't. But that was one thing when I became homeless. I got rid of a lot of stuff because I hated like having to go through my car and like find things, and the less stuff you have, the less you have to steal.
When you were on the street, did you have some of the same stuff that you just had in
I had
your box?
all the clothes. I had that. Everything fit in that.
You literally just had a bin.
2 bins, yeah.
So you just kept everything in your car.
Well, at first, and then when I had the tent, I was clean, so I never got hurt, bothered by the police, and I just kept the things in my tent.
How'd you end up on the street?
I got divorced, and my life just kind of went. I was a layabout, honestly.
Were you using?
I was at times, yeah. Not anymore.
When did you stop? To come in here?
Yeah, because I left trouble for myself. I moved in here, then I just started looking for work and got hired at Target.
And you haven't had any trouble staying sober, staying clean?
No, honestly, like I'm kind of a weird one like that. Like I can go through the withdrawals because I don't want to get beat up or shot, so I don't break into people's stuff, It's my main problem is when I get paid.
What changed about being in here? Because it sounds like there was a real mark the moment you came in. I mean, you said since May when you moved in.
I think you get tired. I didn't want to go back on the street. They were very nice, to give me a place, and I didn't want to blow it. So I try to keep it clean. I'm quiet. I don't bother people, and.
So you still have things that you've kept?
Most of the clothes I have, I've had for like 10 years. This is like one of the last things my dad bought me. So I'm sentimental.
Does this work? Does the setup work? Do you feel like the space works?
Absolutely. It's better than a tent, a room, and a car. But like my brothers bought me some things.
What do they think about you being here?
Well, obviously they're happy that I didn't die out on the street, and all that. I mean, and then pretty low on food right now.
Where do you go shopping?
Yeah, I get it at Target.
Wait, you're working at Target?
I'm working at Target.
And it's just a few blocks away, right?
Right across the street. The commute's easy. And then the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
It has like a fire hose, and it gets hot super quick. No, I'm blessed. And then I just have a little bit of silverware.
You got this. Did you go out and buy stuff?
Little by little. I didn't have a lot of money, so most of it went to food. And I think once you're on the street, it's hard to get off. Not having a steady, like for instance, when I worked at the Lucky's, I can't wait to get off because I'm going to go home, but my home was the parking lot right there. So you just get discouraged pretty easy, especially if you're not making good decisions. Like my brothers were all police officers. They made good decisions. They got houses. So I guess everybody has a black sheep.
But now you're having a second chance. I mean, it's not over.
I understand that. Now, my next goal is just to get my kids back in my life.
Does this feel permanent to you?
This is my home now.
We have 31 people that are very much on track back to leading normal lives. In almost all their cases, it was just a matter of finding a stable place and getting a decent night's sleep. So we wanted to show that a combination of private and public sector could dramatically bring down the cost of this kind of housing, which allowed us to have the freedom to build the building that we wanted to build. The building doesn't have an elevator, which was a deliberate decision on our part because we wanted to keep costs down, we wanted to keep maintenance costs down, and we thought that a lot of people would benefit by having to use stairs. And in fact, we have a 75-year-old resident here who deliberately picked the 4th floor because she liked the Golden Gate view and she wanted to get some exercise on the stairs. There's the Golden Gate, and there's San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
And so far, we've had no complaints from the neighbors. If you drive by it, you would never think this is a supportive housing project. It looks just like a garden variety apartment with a courtyard. I've always wanted to try my hand at building an updated version of the residential hotel, and this is what we came up with. This has been sort of a labor of love for the last 6 years. We spent close to $1 million just figuring out how to build this and meet Section Seismic 4 code, which is the most stringent one here in California. But we did it, and we're happy to make the plans available to anybody. I'd love to see these duplicated all over the state.
Making it open source then.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We're happy to make these plans available to anyone else that would like to do them for free.
Always nice to just look back around real quick and see how beautiful everything is.
The other day I caught myself, I was walking in, I had looked up and I was like, ooh, flowers. And I just started looking around. And then the next thing I know, I caught myself sitting here and almost fell asleep.
It's that relaxing, yeah.
It's the relaxation. Like, to me, once you enter those doors, everything on the outside shuts off.
Really?
Yes. So it's like, okay, I'm having fun here. I have my own space. I have wonderful neighbors. I can come and go whenever I please. I don't have to answer to nobody. I don't get in no trouble here. It's easier. And it's better for me because I am easily prone to trouble. But since I've been here, I can honestly say I've been more relaxed.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been wanting to go outside or do anything like that. I've been wanting to be in my room or go to school, come back and relax.
Kind of gives you like almost like a second wind or a little bit of inspiration towards everything you want to do. You're like, oh my God, I have a home. Like I can come back to my home. Like I got a beautiful home. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's clean all the time. Like it's very secure.
It's always as clean.
Yeah, it's always this clean.
Yeah. You guys?
Kind of everybody.
Really everything.
Yeah.
Like, if we see a mess up, we'll pick it up and clean it up.
Because you feel some sort of ownership.
Of course.
Yes. Are you paying rents?
Yes.
I didn't do it.
This year I had ended up losing like my uncle and like my mother and I kind of felt like I was like, I don't know if I want to get up anymore. I don't know if I necessarily want to do anything on top of like being on the streets, just like laying down on the pavement, just like not really having any hope. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to continue and stuff like that. But I finally got called up and they're like, we finally have a spot for you. I immediately started like, not even gonna lie, I started crying a little bit. I did. I'm like, man, this is another opportunity. Yeah, really great chance to change yourself. Yeah.
And what makes this work?
What makes this work is not letting them feel that they're in jail. Letting them know that they have a voice, that they are heard, that we're not, clink, clink all the time, that they can come and talk to us. That's what works, because I've noticed when you start to do so many curfews and you have to do this, you have to do that, nothing works. Nothing works. You have to have a common ground. Just showing them that they have someone that can talk to, not just someone who's gonna come and bark at them, showing them, hey, I've been through this walk of life too, and as long as we keep our best foot forward and we have the people here that'll support you, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. We're our family. We're a family here.
Yes.
We're a family. That's how I explain it.
Yeah.
We're a family.
Have you had any luck getting housing?
Housing?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nothing. No. What's the process then? So you put your name on a list, you apply.
You apply and you never hear from these outfits. Yeah.
Why are you in California? Are you from here?
I lived in Hawaii for like 30 years.
Right.
Work died out. So I came back and I worked for like 7 years and then I retired. I bought this. I figured 3 to 5 years, I'll get into housing. But it's not working that way. And I don't want to live in this thing forever, you know, and find an RV place to put this. All the RV parks in California, they're all charging like $1,500 a month.
But it's a good investment, no?
Oh, yeah. I run off of all solar. I don't even use my generator.
Oh, nice. I like your setup. Wow, it looks cozy. Yeah. You have this bed set up.
Oh, I have a bed in the back.
Oh, that's your bed in the back. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. And you have a microwave that works? Stove?
Yeah, I don't use the microwave very much. They pull a lot of juice.
Okay.
I have a solar generator here, 3 batteries down here, 2 batteries over there. It's mostly a 12-volt system. That's an inverter, 3,000.
Yeah.
And that one down below there is 1,000.
Do you ever run out of juice?
I'm not really.
Did you use the TV?
Oh, yeah. That's entertainment. I
mean,
low mileage when I got it.
What'd you buy it for?
I paid $10,000. Then the tax was $3,000. And insurance. I have full coverage on this thing. Cost me $300 a year. Originally, I had a bench here, and I was trying different things. I decided I put it back the way I built the couch. This is new. The other couch was here was a small little dinky thing.
You built this?
Yeah, there's a handle right there. See? This is a regular electric refrigerator.
You eat really well.
Twice a day, I keep it down to twice a day. I keep my weight down and, well, still gain weight. Toilet, bathroom.
Working toilet?
Oh, yeah. I service this thing every 2 weeks. Dump my tanks.
But you have a shower.
I shower once in a while.
You're very neat.
Yeah, I don't like clutter. I'm not a pack rat. You got to keep it. You're going to live in something, you got to keep it neat. I wasn't born up in a barn. My mother cleaned everything, and, you know, you learn after them. So I tell everybody, you want to park on the street? Spread out. Don't group together, because that's when there's, and then people want to pack rat. And I said, no pack ratting.
The police don't care.
They do. I move every 3 days or 4 days. Sometimes they'll stay a week in one spot.
Oh.
They know me. They know I'm not a troublemaker, not a junkie. They see the union stickers. They sort of don't really bother me. They know I'm union and retired, whatever. Well, I've been on this street for 5 years.
5 years, wow.
Here, up and over there. They all know me, the cops. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. I keep a very low profile. I help them with, I see somebody dump out the garbage can, I let them know. And nothing big.
So nobody's going to bother you. They don't care.
5 years I've been on this street.
Phoenix, it's a large city from a landmass. We're the 5th largest city in the U.S. A lot of the homeless issues that we've had, it's been centered in one location downtown. We have what recently was called the Zone. So this was covered in tents, this whole area. I think it got up to about 1,500 people.
On the street?
On the street, in that one block.
Oh, that's in one block?
Yeah. City was required, it was court ordered to deal with the zone because it was in the city right-of-ways. And so it's an unbelievable effort to take 1,000 people and house them. This immediate solution was we're going to lease a bunch of hotels. That's not a very good sustainable solution long-term because it's expensive. And part of the challenge is it's not about moving people out from the urban area, but trying to disperse people so that it's not all focused in one neighborhood.
Your angle is you can do something fast.
Yeah, so once you go through a development process, then you kind of understand how difficult that is.
You're for the X-Wings, right?
Yeah. The main strategy for what we're doing is, one, it's completely off-grid. So from an electrical standpoint, I don't need to deal with the power company to set it up. And so when you have something like this that can literally set up in one day and no electric bill, it can't be beat. So this was a building that was used for the Department of Transportation that they've now turned into a shelter.
Yeah, so dormitory style living, right? So if you go inside, we have a total of 4 separate dorms.
In here?
We have up to 79 people in one of the dorms. We were dealing with a major influx of individuals experiencing homelessness and living outdoors. City came to us and said, hey, can we add 60 more beds?
And here, they didn't need the space. It was empty parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, they have people who work here that need the parking, and there's a few people that, the clients that are here, that actually drive Uber. And so they'll use the parking also. But typically there's a reduction in parking that's needed, you know, for any type of shelter if you're coming off the street. I mean, obviously from a campus setting with landscaping would be much nicer, but really getting people off the street is the priority.
So for you, you could just bring a crane in. These are already prefabbed. Right?
Yeah, so everything we fabricate off-site, and then 6 trucks come over with each module, and then we pick them up with the crane and put them in place. The real advantage here is that in a development process, there's a lot of time it takes to get utilities run to a building. And so by avoiding that with the off-grid nature of it, we're able to not wait for our power company to show up with a meter and set the meter or run power underground to that building, which is expensive and takes time. So it's completely off-grid, and it takes about 6 hours to set up.
So you have how many total?
44 total beds.
Okay.
Yep.
So this is dormitory housing?
This is, yeah, it kind of wraps around. It's a lot. With 79 other people in one room, that's challenging. And especially if you're trying to work, right? We have people that work overnight, so they need to sleep during the day. It's pretty amazing what people can achieve when they're given a dignified space to live, some privacy.
That's my room.
Did you furnish this?
This is all mine. This was all I came into this place with. This is all that, except for the bed.
So how long were you on the street?
For about 5 months.
Was this the first time you were homeless?
Yes.
That must have been a shock.
Well, it was. My sister passed, so my family needed money. I had a little money, and I said, well, don't worry about it. I got a job back in Arizona. I stayed a week, came back, the house was empty. So that I became homeless.
Do you have your own space?
I have my own space, my own dignity, my own privacy. That's what this room is about, sanity. Keeping your sanity, get your thoughts together, motivate and put your plans together and do what you want to do. And it keeps me away from ignorance and people that are not about trying to take care of their business, you know? I needed parts for my scooter, couldn't find a job without that. They helped me with all that. I got my scooter running, I got moved into this wing, and I just got on that train and went forward. I'm a chef, I cook. I've been cooking for 45 years. I just got an executive chef job at a restaurant here in Phoenix, and I'm on my way to trying to get my own place.
And your location here, you're in a parking lot. I mean, that works, that's fine.
That's fine with me.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. What do you think about being in a container?
Compared to being on the streets, I love it. The elements of this world can hurt you, so being in this container keeps me out of the elements, you know. It's all solar panel. We have circuits here, charging or my phone and my speaker. I'm safe, I'm sound, my door locks. I'm able to sleep and rest well. I'm able to get up and go to work when I need to go to work. I just thank God that I'm alive, you know.
I mean, I guess you're in here, and then do you take the train?
No, I ride my scooter everywhere. Oh, that's right. That's Oscar de la Hoya. That's a knockout. When I got here, my scooter was broken, needed parts. I got it running. Found a job the next day, actually, and been working ever since.
You found a job the next day. That was fast.
As soon as my scooter got to running, and I moved in here, yeah.
It makes a difference because you had a scooter, you had a house.
I had transportation. I was able to move and get around back and forth to work, you know, kept my sanity. You know, you're not thinking right when you're in an environment where you can't think, you know, where everybody's complaining about their problems. So I took my problems into this room and settled them myself.
The idea of living in the X-Wing, in a way, lifts people up. That's why I kind of like the idea of the X-Wing. It's really about moving through the housing continuum, and knowing that you're in something that's very innovative kind of gives you some confidence to move your life forward. To build 40 beds, which we're seeing right here, no electric bill, and a one-day setup, it can't be beat. So one of the ways that you can see where these come together above, you can barely see it, was where the AC ductwork connects. And so there's a gasket on each side. And so by being able to just bring these in and by pushing up against that, it allows the air conditioning to be fed from the center core into the unit. That not having to spend a lot of time on those connections allows for this to work much faster.
That's important. So this is all the off-grid stuff?
Yeah, so this is the central command of this side of the X-Wing. So what's happening here is our air conditioning. This is actually a mini split. And so what this does is it modulates infinitely up and down. And that makes this a 21 SEER unit. So it's a super efficient unit. You can see the quick connect above for the fire sprinkler system, which is being fed from this tank, this home hydrant at the end. Because this gives us 250 gallons. The fire sprinkler riser is integrated into it. And so this allows us to extinguish a fire in an individual room if there is a fire. This is 90 kilowatt hours of battery storage.
And so for a place like Arizona, this works because you have a lot of sun. So you have a lot of heat, but you have a lot of sun. So
And we're running 4 2-ton air conditioning units. And you have to remember, we're in the desert and it gets up to 120 degrees here. Where we're at 100% already, and we're at noon, or just about 11:45. We've ramped down now. We are only using 604 watts, and we're taking in 850 watts. And so that allows us to now stabilize the batteries. So each one of these batteries is in parallel, and so when we get to 100%, we're able to stabilize that. And so last night, it got down to probably 70%, and then back up. Because of the amount of solar PV panels on the roof, we're able to get back up to 100 pretty quickly. The air vents are CNC'd into the panels, so there's not something to remove and hide something inside. Everything here is built based on durability. Everything is 100% about cleanliness and security. And nothing touches the floors here. You can see the bed's floating. And you can see that there's even a gap around the bed so that there's no crumb catcher there, right? And so everything floats, so it's easily cleaned. You could come in here with a hose and hose this entire unit out.
how big is this space?
8 foot by 8 foot bedroom, so 64 square feet. So this platform will hold 500 pounds. Yeah. And it is attached to the walls. And again, this was about storage and cleanliness, to be able to clean so that nothing touches the floor. Yeah. Everything here, if you see underneath this, was CNC'd, and it all locks into the wall. So from a fabrication standpoint, these are all cut on the CNC machine. They interlock together and then lock into the wall. And the desk is exactly the same. You can't lift them out either because they're so heavy. This material, this material is incredibly durable. Each sheet weighs about 280 pounds. So it's very, very dense. It's basically thousands of layers of paper that is soaked in with resin and compressed. And so it's antimicrobial and very durable. And again, from a design perspective, it was how do we design this so that it can be manufactured quickly and still provide quality? Because this is going to last 20 years. And this is a tough environment for stuff to last, right? And so the material will last. You need to change air filters, but other than that,
because this was designed to last at sea.
The container was, yeah,
and
across the ocean and hurricanes.
Right.
Here's your fire sprinkler, so that pops off in event of a fire. On these walls, in this particular unit, is an FRP, a plastic panel. So we have a 1-hour fire rating between each bedroom, and then we have fire dampers in the ductwork. So if smoke was in the unit and it starts pulling smoke back in, the damper will close in between each unit, and the air conditioning unit will shut off. And so that allows us to not spread smoke to the other units. And fire is a huge problem. If you look at the stories in Oakland where the pallet shelters caught on fire. And one of the things I really like about the X-Wing and the way that it's modular is that if there is a fire in this unit, we can pull this entire module off and put a new one on because the container's not burning down.
How economical that can be.
Around $28,000 per bed. And so that price compared to a lot of other housing options for the life safety components that you get here, no electric bill and a 1-day setup, it can't be beat. To build 40 beds, which we're seeing right here, is not going to be set up in 2 days.
So you could basically drop them anywhere.
Right.
Because there are plenty of empty parking lots and things.
Right. We're headed to another campus, and this campus is in process of being set up. Okay. So what this has been set up as is a space where not everyone wants to accept services, right? Yeah. And that's kind of a reality to homelessness, is how do we deal with people who aren't willing to live inside? So there's an opportunity here to live outside, kind of like a sanctioned campground. Here, these are installed on a really cool new foundation system called ground frame. So this is the ground frame, and it's a steel galvanized tube. There's these pins that are driven down through that into the ground. So we're pinning this tube to the ground. That allows us to go in without pouring concrete and install a foundation system that meets the building code in a very quick way.
You just have to cut a little bit of concrete.
So here we cut the asphalt so that we can get down into the dirt.
But it's very minimal.
Yeah, and it's amazing because then without going out there and laying rebar and excavating and digging around it and pouring the concrete, this allows you in a day to just come in and lay the foundation. The idea is really not to necessarily have these posts, but because this site slopes so much of a drainage, we created these other pieces that attach to the ground frame. It's literally just steel pipe, 2-inch tube.
But that's sportive, that's structural.
Yep, and so because it pins it into the ground, similar to when you think about a caisson, the ground applies pressure to the pin, right? And then they go in a cross pattern like this, and then when you tighten these bolts tighten up and lock the pins in place.
And the difference in cost between this system, for example, and trying to build a foundation that is more conventional?
So labor is the huge difference, right? If we're gonna come out here and do this, it's gonna take more than a day in concrete, right? You're gonna be laying out, excavating, rebar, pouring concrete. And so something that would take 4 or 5 days to do with concrete, with a crew of 4 to 8, we can do in 1 day with a crew of 4. And so it really speeds up your labor costs. From a cost standpoint, it's pretty good because it's really a lot of off-the-shelf materials. Like this tube is what's called an HSS. It's a galvanized steel tube, and this is 2-inch galvanized pipe. You're just taking stuff that's really common in the structural world and using it in a really smart way. And these are not meant for temporary use.
So this can be permanent.
These are designed for a permanent foundation system, yeah. This does not require a lot of equipment other than electric jackhammer. Each one of these pins will take anywhere between 4 and 12 minutes to hammer into the ground.
So all this could go in how long does it take?
So technically, if per X-wing, you spend a day on the foundation and then a day installing the units. And then depending on the stairs and ramps, you have another day. So you're 3 days to get your 20 beds in. It gives you a really quick assembly process. A lot of times people will not come into shelters if they can't stay together. So this is an example of a double room. We have 2 beds, but still the same. So everything here is floating, nothing touches the ground, and it's all about cleanliness, right? So the idea is if you need to come in here, hose it off, you can. We've kept the bed frame floated off the wall. There's these openings that are CNC'd in, and you can see right here where this piece will slot into that hole. And so it all locks together. There's not even a back to them. They all lock together. And my goal is to eventually get to the point where I can build this without anyone having a tape measure. So instead of having these cabinets and measuring and level where they go, the holes are already CNC'd into the wall panels. So there is nowhere else they can go. They go up, lock in, and that's it. What prevents you from moving them, because that's one of the concerns, is that they are attached to each other. What that does is, because this material is so heavy, you can't pull this many pieces out of the hole. I think that's part of things that we can do to lower the price. Same thing with the beds. We have a jig that you put down on the ground, you take your angle. And so a lot of people are worried it doesn't hold enough weight, but it holds 500 pounds. It's very, very stable, and it has a 3-inch angle that spans from wall to wall.
None of the rooms have, let's say, a bathroom situation with a shower.
Here on site, there's a separate bathroom and shower facility, separate from the X-wing.
You see the floor is just beautiful.
This one really, something dragged across it, and it's missing a lot of pieces from it, but it just creates a really cool texture. And you can see this panel here was replaced.
The metal, it's really nice.
Yeah, it ties in well. I think the dark ceiling, and even though the ceiling is low here, it doesn't feel like it's a very small space. I think this one is 7/8. It's a very good solution for dignified housing, and it sets up in one day. I mean, I don't know how you can really beat it. I think there's a need for it.
It feels less like a storage container and more like a camper.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are really, it's like, feels like the Department of Transportation, right? It's like everything is beige, and there's really nothing there that I think can at least make you feel a little bit better about your situation. I think you have to solve the problem at all different levels. X-Wings can help from the bottom side of that scale. And rent rates have increased so much in the city that a lot of people aren't able to afford it. If we're able to provide more housing for those people who may just need 6 months to pay rent, because the goal is to solve the problem of getting people off the street. And people will have many comments about how to solve homelessness and housing first or not housing first, or what it is that people need. But it's such a complex problem. What I know is that without housing, it's very, very difficult.